Mr. Mayor, we are live.
Great, thank you. So today is May 5th, 2021, and the time is 7:23 p.m. and I am calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council regular virtual meeting. City Clerk, excuse me, sorry. Pastor Flores, can we get an invocation?
Thank you, Mayor. Yo quiero leer en Salmo 125, la palabra de Dios dice, los que confían en Jehová son como el monte de Sión, que no se mueve, sino que permanece para siempre. Gracious God, we thank you that your eyes are over your people. You provide security and strength for your people. We pray for the city of Baldwin Park. We pray for our mayor, Lord, our gift that you've given us for this season. We pray, God, that you help us in this pandemic, Lord, as we continue to march forward, seeing more people vaccinated, seeing more people released from hospitals, Lord, but yet knowing there's still pain and suffering. We pray for those, Lord, who have experienced that, Lord, that you may give them healing and strength today and hope for tomorrow. Guide our counsel today. Give us your wisdom. Lord, help us to speak truth, Lord, and to proclaim your word, to bring healing to the land and prosperity to all. In Jesus' wonderful name we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you, Pastor Flores. And then I believe at this point we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance today?
Yes, sir. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. City Clerk, can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Council Member Daniel Damian,
Here.
Council Member Monica Garcia,
At this moment, I will make a motion to excuse Councilmember Garcia. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections? No? Great. Thank you. Continue, City Clerk.
thank you. Council Member Paul Hernandez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Alejandra Avila,
Here.
and Mayor Emanuel Estrada.
Here. Thank you for that. And then, of course, we can't forget our honorary roll call for our City Treasurer, Marie Contreras. Is she here today? Well, she's here, but I think she's on mute. Great, thank you. And then at this point, City Attorney, is there anything to report out? From
I'm here, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you are. There's Marie.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. I want to make sure we remembered you this time for the roll call.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course.
Feliz Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. We'll see. We'll see how this meeting turns out, right? And then we can celebrate. City Attorney, is there anything to report out?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City Council took no final action in closed session. Therefore, there's no reportable action, and that concludes my report.
Great. And so at this point, I'll make a motion to adjourn the special meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections? No. So special meeting is adjourned, and we move on to our announcements. And I believe we are starting off with a Valley County Water District 95th anniversary presentation by Jose Martinez, the General Manager.
Mayor, can I just ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you foresee us meeting at council chambers soon?
I think that's a good discussion to have. I believe I believe that's a question for Shannon. But I think that's a good discussion to have. I know that our city has been doing well, and I believe we have we have Kaiser staff here, so I think that's a good discussion to have with them regarding our vaccinations and how good we're doing with this partnership. So I think you've asked a very good question. I don't have the answer for that. I think we'd have to direct it to Shannon, and as he communicates with the CDC and the county, and making sure that we're able to follow guidelines. But don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Mayor,
yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead, Shannon.
I could comment briefly on that, and we did have a conference call with Dr. Ferrer today from the county health department. And the county is going into yellow, which the best level. They still obviously want to encourage everybody to get vaccinated if you haven't been, and to carry out the precautions. But in accordance with the governor's plan for June 15th, it looks like we will probably be able to, and staff and myself are planning to return to somewhat normal after June 15th, which could mean meetings in the council chambers. Obviously, there are still going to be precautions in place plexiglass distancing, masks. We may not be able to have all the seats open, but we should have some limited amount of availability for seating. So that's sort of the plan at the moment if things keep going the way that they are.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good.
Shannon.
Thank you very much. I also want to congratulate and wish our Mayor Pro Tem, Alejandra Avila, happy birthday. Her birthday was on the 29th. May God bless her and give her good health.
Yes, yes. Happy
Thank
birthday
you,
to our
Lori. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you very much.
happy birthday to our Mayor Pro Tem. We had to postpone her quinceañera, but it's up and coming. Don't worry.
I can say it 4 times. Thank you.
And then Marie, you're asking about the chambers because you're ready to come back, right?
Absolutely. I would like to meet you in person.
Great, great. I am looking forward to it too. I promise you that. Great. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I believe Jose Martinez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Hello, Marie. Happy birthday,
Right, okay.
Avila. My daughter's birthday is the 29th as well, and it was her quinceañera, but unfortunately we weren't able to celebrate the way we wanted to. It certainly is a pleasure to be here this evening to celebrate two great things. One, first is May is Water Awareness Month. So wanted to come here and make that announcement and go over a couple activities that are going on with the Valley County Water District. Also, a quick little update of how we're doing as far as water resources in the state of California. The second and probably the most important is the district is actually, we're celebrating our 95th anniversary this year. So we were formed back in 1926 and it's been 95 great years of providing service to the great city of Baldwin Park. If we can move on to the next slide. And I know last time I may have extended my welcome, so I'm going to try to condense 95 years into as quick as I can. I will say that this, for those who are interested, I will be recording a longer presentation with the same slides, but to go into a little bit more detail, and we'll have that posted on our website next week. But as I said, founded back in 1926, during the 50s and 60s, we really saw a lot of growth in our area. And that's when the district started building a lot of our infrastructure. We have over 100 miles of pipeline right now. We built 6 reservoirs. So that's really when the boom in Baldwin Park and then certainly the growth in the district happened in the 50s and the 60s. Unfortunately, with that development and some manufacturers development there back in the 80s, there was ground contamination that was detected. And with that kind of spurred the next phase of the district of how we stepped up in a regional effort. And if we can go to the next slide, back in the early 90s and into the 2000s, as I mentioned, the environmental agency stepped in. They started figuring out who was responsible for these contamination, and many water treatment plants were built throughout the San Gabriel Valley. We actually currently operate 3 treatment facilities. Our biggest is from the picture you see here, our Lantee treatment plant, which can treat nearly 10 million gallons of water a day. So that has been operational since back in 2005. So certainly that has been one of the key treatment plants that has removed a lot of the contamination that occurred back in the early 60s and 70s to remove that plume. Back in 2013, the district did update our master plan. That master plan did highlight several activities that we're currently very busy with right now. And as we see in the last picture there, we're currently in construction of a new district headquarters, which we envision to be complete in February 2021. Next slide, please. Some of the main capital improvement projects that we're working on right now, and some may be driving by it every day on Main Street. We did a rehabilitation of our reservoir there. We did some modification and upgrades to our booster pump station there, as well as improvements to our granular activated carbon treatment plant that we have in our facility. So over the next several years, we'll complete rehab on all 6 of our reservoirs. We have nearly 6 million gallons of storage that is ready and available to provide service for drinking purposes, but also for fire protection to our customers throughout the state. Next slide. Since I'm here already, I think I should give a little bit of update. This is Water Awareness Month. Very excited about it, but unfortunately, the weather and precipitation has not been cooperating. This precipitation is extremely low, not only here locally, but throughout the state of California and also in the Colorado River Basin. Those are 2 of our main imported water supplies coming from Northern California and from the Colorado Basin. So right now it's almost a perfect storm of all 3 local resources and imported resources have been impacted with drought conditions. So certainly something that we will continue to monitor, and we'll also continue to promote water conservation to our customers. Certainly that is the best way to protect and maintain our resource. We are 100% dependent on the groundwater beneath our feet. So certainly the protection of the environment, the protection of that resource, and utilizing that water resource in a very efficient manner is the #1 key. Certainly that's also a great way to keep the bills low. We offer several programs. We have rebates to purchase both indoor and outdoor conservation devices that can help use water efficiency and reduce overall consumption. We recently launched a Water Wise landscape community recognition. So we're driving around the community, and we noticed somebody that's done some drought tolerant work. We're taking the time to recognize them. So we're giving them a little bit of credit to their water bill, as well as a sign, and doing some posting upon their approval on our social media platform and our website to really recognize how beautiful landscape transitions in utilizing drought tolerant and moving away from those green grasses, which use a lot of water. We're talking 3-4 times the water usage of a drought tolerant landscape. Last but not least, also this coming July 1st, we will be mailing out our 2021 Consumer Confidence Report that will have all the information of the testing. All our water that we provided to our customer met all state and federal regulations, and it's also a good opportunity to talk about our 95th anniversary and also a lot of the projects that we had ongoing throughout the year. So that will be mailed out to all our customers come the beginning of July. Last slide is just an invitation to celebrate our 95th anniversary. Certainly, we didn't envision this, but we were able to put our minds together, and we came up with a little drive-through event at our Lantee treatment facility. It will be on May 21st, 2021, from 11 to 1 p.m. We will have In-N-Out catered by In-N-Out, so those who attend can drive away with a couple burgers from In-N-Out. And it's just our way to say thank you to our 95 years of partnership. We are the stewards of the community to provide water to all our customers and everybody we would provide. It's been an honor for the district for the last 95 years to provide water to the community, and we look forward for another 95 years. And with that, that's all I have to present this evening. If there's any questions or comments, I'd be more than happy to answer them at this time.
Great. Is there any questions or comments from city staff or council?
I just want to congratulate you on your 95th anniversary and thank you for providing great services to our community. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Jose. And then if there's no more questions or concerns for Jose, I believe at this point we have an update on our COVID-19 vaccine efforts with Kaiser Permanente.
Good evening, City Council members, Mayor Estrada. My name is Eugene Cho. I'm the Senior Vice President, Area Manager of the Kaiser Permanente Bolton Park Medical Center. And I trust that you are as proud as I am about today being marking the 1 month since the opening and the launch of our community vaccine center at the Esther Snyder Community Center. And I really want to extend my gratitude to the City Council, the City of Baldwin Park. A special shout out to Shannon, Manny, and Maria, who were instrumental in partnering with our staff to bring to life such a wonderful beacon of hope, I think, to the community, a well-deserved community, the City of Baldwin Park. And it's an honor for me tonight to present to you kind of what's been happening over the last 30 days. There's been a lot of activity. So let me get right into that. And I'm just gonna pull up my notes here. So pardon me. So as I mentioned, today actually marks the 1 month of the opening of the Esther Snyder Vaccine Community Center, a really wonderful partnership between the City of Baldwin Park and Kaiser Permanente. I think many of you know that our two organizations, the city and Kaiser Permanente, have enjoyed really a fruitful and mutually beneficial relationship for many years since the opening of our medical center there, the Kaiser Permanente Baldwin Park Medical Center. We've really enjoyed a wonderful partnership. And as I mentioned, I think this community vaccine center is in many ways a capstone of that partnership, the strength of the partnership, our ability to work together to bring the expertise of Kaiser Permanente, the healthcare expertise, our ability to safely vaccinate members of the community, Kaiser Permanente members, members of other communities, and to partner together with the city, the facility at the Esther Snyder Community Center, as well as the logistics of this that your staff have provided, have really brought together a wonderful partnership. And as you can see, it's very proof positive of what we're able to do when we work together. Since we opened as of April 29th, I'm happy to report that we've vaccinated over 40,000. We've administered over 40,000 vaccines, 40,417 vaccines to be exact. I'm also happy to report that within the 91706 zip code, the Baldwin Park zip code, 27% of the people within that zip code are actually not Kaiser Permanente members. So I know that that was a question when we first started our discussions as to whether that would be open to the community. And I'm happy to report that it has absolutely been open to the community. I want to emphasize that from the very start, appointments for vaccines have been open to both Kaiser Permanente members as well as non-members from the very beginning. And we utilize our website, the kp.org website, and it's open to, again, KP members as well as non-members. The other beautiful thing about this is many of the residents in Baldwin Park are actually KP members. So when you think about that, the percentage is actually much closer to 50% of the city enjoying the vaccination and having that opportunity. Lastly, I'd just like to emphasize that until we reach what they call herd immunity, or until most of the community is vaccinated, I do want to emphasize and urge everyone to continue to maintain healthy behaviors, mask wearing, social distancing, washing hands. That is all still very much encouraged and needed at this point until we, get through the pandemic. And finally, on behalf of Kaiser Permanente, I'd really like to thank again the City of Baldwin Park. I want to thank you, the City Council, for the vision that you had in seeing this community center come to life. I have personally been there twice myself since the opening, and I cannot tell you how much it means, the space that we have, the access to the space that we have. The city has been more than generous to opening up the center, which really allows us to administer so many vaccines. We're able to vaccinate up to 3,500 people a day. And we could not do that at our own medical center facility. We just don't have the facility capability to do that. And the city has been more than generous to opening up the community center, which allows us to vaccinate at that clip. And so again, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you tonight. I will stop there and see if anybody has any questions for me, please.
Mayor, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
I don't have questions. I want to thank you, Eugene. And I see Miss Reina Del Haro. It's the first time I get to see you. I've talked to you before, so nice to meet you. I was very impressed. I want to thank Manny Carrillo, Maria Moreno, and all of the staff at the park and within the city. I went the weekend before opening and I saw Kaiser staff, city staff, all working together, painting rooms for the eye checkups, making sure all the IT stuff was connecting, making sure everything was put in place. Everybody was talking, working, moving. They were like little working ants, moving and putting all the pieces together. So I went in, I saw the facility, and I was amazed. They made a mini hospital in our community center. I was very, very impressed. Then I believe it was the Wednesday or the Thursday after you opened, I was there to see you all in action. Oh my goodness, it was so well organized. The line was big, nevertheless, it was moving. And so your staff was so efficient. I don't even know how you guys keep track of who was next and how long they sat there, but you guys had it all worked out and put together. And it was like you said, Eugene, the collaboration between the city and Kaiser Permanente, because we are one together. We work for this community and we work for those outside of our community as well, because you have provided so many vaccines. So I'm very impressed and very thankful for this partnership. So please thank all of your staff at Kaiser, and Manny, please be sure to thank all of the staff at the park and at the city, Shannon, because everybody worked so well together and it's flowing beautiful. And I've heard nothing but great things. A lot of people from the Baldwin Park School District have gone there because most of them are Kaiser members and they're very impressed. So thank you again, and let's continue to work together.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then Eugene, can you just, how many vaccines did you say are being distributed a day?
It's roughly 2,500 to 3,000 at the moment. We have capacity for up to 3,500. And I will say that you may have read in the news that, and I think it's true of our center as well, that vaccinations are starting to slow down. I think maybe people are not as eager to go get the vaccine. So, you know, the other thing I wanted to just emphasize is if we could partner together to continue to get the word out. I mean, at this point, it's open to anybody age 16 and over. We can take just about anybody at this point, walk-ins at this point. But yes, Mayor, I mean, we can do up to about 3,500 a day. So.
And then, so what about somebody got their first dose, maybe, you know, out far away, because that's where there was availability at the time. Can they come and can they get their second dose here?
Yes. So we have the ability to, there's certain requirements that are kind of driven by the CDC, the county. We do have to have proof of that they received a vaccine somewhere. If you've received the vaccine, you know that you get a card that's authorized by the CDC, which then tells you which vaccine it was, either Pfizer or Moderna. And we do need to have some type of proof in order to administer, but we can administer a second vaccine for somebody that received their first somewhere else.
Great, that's great. And I just want to reiterate, Mayor Pro Tem, and say that I am, you know, I'm excited about the partnership. I'm glad that we've been able to work together. I know Kaiser was kind of busy, you know, a couple of months before this, dealing with patients, and so I'm excited. I know that Manny and his staff and Maria and Shannon had been working on trying to bring vaccines here, and I think it's a big deal. You know, it's bigger than we expect it to be. You know, we are a working class community. You know, we're a working class city with minority families who really kept the economy going through the pandemic since the start. You know, and now looking back and knowing that through a partnership, the city and Kaiser have been able to provide them, and remove that access to healthcare, I think it's something to really be proud of. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Mayor. Totally agree.
I don't know if any other council members or staff have any questions or concerns.
Mr. Mayor, if I may?
Yes, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you. Eugene and Reina, thank you very much for your involvement. Obviously, the output has certainly been shown and demonstrated. Again, as you talked about, the lull in the vaccination. Right now our city is about 35% vaccinated for individuals that are 16 age and over. That's very, very low in comparison to other communities. So absolutely, we'll continue to partner with you to increase that number, because up until about maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, we're at 33%, 34%, I think. So, we haven't increased that much over that period of time. Perhaps, one item of note, of the vaccination number that you're talking about, does that include the second shot or just the first shot?
I believe it does include both first and second shots. Yes.
And the other thing is, because I know there's been some perception, at least around, Latino men not receiving their shots is a big issue, in our community. Are you seeing that, most folks are coming back and getting their second shot?
Mr. Hernandez, that's a really good question. I would have to check to be specific. I have not heard that we've had that issue. So I'm going to assume that most people are coming back and getting their second shot. I think I would have heard if it was a significant issue. We meet with our vaccine team, our senior leadership at the medical center. We meet with our vaccine team every Monday to check in. Yeah, but I can certainly ask them that question. But I don't know specifically if that's a specific issue.
No, I appreciate that. If you can circle back with, through Manny and staff, I only say that because, again, as we modify some of our messaging, we just want to be mindful of, how we speak to our community in regards to, getting the next shot or just getting the first shot. Because again, there's a larger percentage of community members here in Baldwin Park that have not received their initial shot. So whatever we can do to help echo your message through social media, through our individual conversations and platforms that we have, we're happy to do that moving forward again. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Great. So thank you for being here. As I said, we're all grateful, thankful, and excited. I look forward to it, to keep going. And I'll be there to get my second shot, by the way, soon. So maybe I'll see you there, maybe I won't, but just know I'll be there.
All right.
So thank you. And then, hey, I was thinking maybe we can even get a chief and the police involved and have them put some bumper stickers on the patrol cars so people see that vaccination effort more often, huh? And I believe at this point we have a presentation by Christina Cardenas regarding the Breathe Free Coalition.
Great, thank you. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Good evening, Mayor Estrada and Baldwin Park City Council. My name is Cristina Cardenas. I'm a program manager with LACUSC Medical Center Foundation, working with Tobacco Control and Prevention Program, which is to reduce exposure to secondhand smoke and increase access to mental health and smoking cessation resources. It is being managed by the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health. It's also community driven through our Breathe Free Baldwin Park Coalition. We've been focusing on educating and informing parents and students on the dangers of vaping, also the health impacts, and the opportunity to create educational opportunities and programs to that end. In January, we had the pleasure of presenting to council with Dr. Jessica Barrington-Tremis, Director of USC Epidemiology and Substance Abuse, on she provided comments on the growing vaping epidemic amongst adolescents. She also talked about health implications and local solutions to address this epidemic. So tonight, we look forward to continuing this discussion. We are joined by the LA County Department of Public Health, as well as youth and adult members from our Breathe Free Baldwin Park Coalition and Youth Coalition, who will be sharing their perspectives about the tobacco retail environment, youth vaping, and findings gathered from parent feedback at various vaping workshops, public opinion surveys, youth purchase surveys, and Photo Voice, which is a youth participatory research project. So to kick it off, I would love to introduce Monty Messick, who is a program manager for the LA County Department of Public Health TCPP program. Thank you so much for joining us, Monty. And I'll open the floor.
Thank you, Christina. Honorable Mayor Estrada and council members, my name is Monty Messick. I work for the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health Tobacco Control and Prevention Program. In addition to my duties, I oversee the county's tobacco retail licensing program that licenses over 650 tobacco retailers operating in unincorporated Los Angeles County. I'm here this evening to provide information about youth access to flavored tobacco products and tobacco retail licensing. Both the FDA and the US Surgeon General have warned that flavored tobacco products such as electronic smoking devices, meaning e-cigarettes, little cigars and cigarillos, help new users establish habits that can lead to long-term addiction. Sweet flavors like watermelon, cherry, chocolate, mint, and gummy bear appeal to youth. Flavorings tend to mask the harsh taste of tobacco, making it easier for them to initiate use. Flavored e-cigarettes are not tested nor approved smoking cessation devices and may expose users to high levels of nicotine. The Department of Public Health recommends stopping smoking and vaping now. If you smoke or vape, you can get free cessation services by calling 1-800-NO-BUTTS or 1-844-NO-VAPE, or by texting quit smoking or quit vaping to 66819. Menthol cigarettes are not safer than regular cigarettes. Menthol cigarettes have been shown to increase youth initiation, inhibit cessation, and promote relapse. As such, most recently, the FDA unveiled a plan to ban menthol cigarettes. Little flavored cigars are often sold in small packages for less than $1 and promoted as low-cost alternative to cigarettes. Colorful packaging and placement near the register make them highly visible and attractive to kids. Hookah tobacco, or shisha, is available in an array of fruit, alcoholic beverages, and herbal flavors. Many young adults falsely believe that hookah smoking is safer than cigarette smoking. In Los Angeles County, 47 jurisdictions have adopted tobacco retail licensing ordinances, and of those, 16 also prohibit the sale of flavored tobacco products, including El Monte, Long Beach, Glendale, and the County of Los Angeles. It's interesting to note that also in California, over 100 jurisdictions have adopted flavored tobacco bans. As you may know, in 2019, the County Board of Supervisors adopted an ordinance to strengthen the county's tobacco retail licensing program, with provisions that updated the definition of tobacco products to include e-cigarettes and other vape devices, and provisions that prohibited the sale of all flavored tobacco products for retailers in unincorporated Los Angeles County. The county's ordinance prohibits the sale of all flavorings, including menthol, mint, and other flavors that are appealing to youth and young adults. The ordinance also prohibits prohibits flavored hookah tobacco and does not allow any exemptions for tobacco only or adult only retailers. The ordinance became enforceable on May 1st, 2020. The Los Angeles County Department of Public Health is committed to protecting the health and well-being of youth and the general public. As part of its mission to prevent tobacco-related disease and death, public health supports local strategies to prevent youth access to all tobacco products. In addition to my comments this evening, I provided a map of LA County jurisdictions that have adopted a flavored tobacco ban and a letter from the Department of Public Health with more information about the county's flavored tobacco ban. Thank you.
Thank you, Monty. So next I'd like to introduce Xochitl Escalante, who is a longtime resident of Baldwin Park and also a member of the Breathe Free Baldwin Park Coalition, who is going to be sharing some information tonight on a public opinion survey that was conducted. So Xochitl, si quieres sacarte de mudo y empezar. And she will be speaking in Spanish, and there is translation, I believe, simultaneous. So thank you, Xochitl.
Hola, buenas noches, señor alcalde Manuel Estrada y miembros del concilio. Mi nombre es Xochitl Escalante y soy residente de la ciudad de Baldwin Park. La siguiente, por favor. Ok. ¿Por qué el enfoque en productos de vapear? Los jóvenes que vapean son 2 a 8 veces más probables que fumen cigarrillos un año después. Así como lo ven en esta imagen, cuál atractivo es para nuestros jóvenes consumir estos productos por estos dispositivos. La siguiente, por favor. Este es el resultado de las encuestas de opinión a los residentes de la ciudad, con un total de 798 encuestas realizadas de abril de 2019 a febrero de 2020. Como ustedes pueden ver los resultados, el alto porcentaje de apoyo a las preguntas de la encuesta. Adicionalmente, tenemos un 87% de apoyo para regular la venta de artículos para el consumo de productos de tabaco, y un 87% apoya la prohibición de la venta de productos de tabaco en las farmacias. Siguiente, por favor. Para concluir, un estudio reciente indica que el tener pólizas sólidas puede ser un alto en el consumo de tabaco entre los jóvenes. Por lo tanto, les pedimos que hagan pólizas que prohíban la venta de tabaco con sabor y mentol, y así nos ayuden a tener una comunidad más saludable. Muchas gracias por su atención.
Good evening, Council. My name is Anna, and I'm a young adult member in the Breathe Free Coalition. In the summer of 2019, when I was the age of 20, I and another member traveled to 53 retailers in Baldwin Park to determine whether they were willing to sell tobacco products to young adults under the legal age limit of 21. With this, we found that 16 stores, roughly 30%, were willing to sell to us, regardless if our age was well known. This showed us that youth in Baldwin Park have access to flavored tobacco products, even though they are not 21. As a resident in Baldwin Park and a recent Baldwin Park High alumni that passed these stores on my way to school, I feel that there is an issue with underage youth accessing flavored tobacco. The city should have retailer incentive programs to provide with them tobacco law signage, staff trainings, and incentives to retailers committed to the adding by the law. The next slide, one of our team members will be showing the retailer side of flavored tobacco with our photo-based project.
Good evening, council members. Over the past week, I had the opportunity to join a participatory research project called Photo Voice that was provided by the Baldwin Park Teen Center, along with 8 other Baldwin Park youths. Through the project, we documented pictures of our environment and its significance in shaping us. I'm here today to share one of my submissions, and of course, all these pictures and more will be provided for you. This picture on the right shows one of the many posters that are posted on the storefronts of a tobacco shop. This store is covered in advertisement posters encouraging the use of tobacco products. Not to mention, this shop was around the corner from the Baldwin Park Library, when during non-pandemic times, hundreds of youths would pass by when they were either on their way to the library or on their way home. This information is repeatedly encoded into teens' minds every time they walk by and notice the invasive smell of tobacco products. Eventually, if youths were to think about buying a tobacco product, they would remember that there was that one store on the way to the library, which would significantly increase the chances of teens using tobacco products. A solution to this problem might be to limit the number and types of advertisements that can be posted, or policies that remove the access of tobacco products to youths as a whole. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my photo gallery. Although I'll be attending UC San Diego in the fall, I look forward to staying involved in this campaign and look at local solutions to decrease the easy access to flavored tobacco.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Emanuel Estrada and members of the City Council. My name is Julia Ruedas with LAC USC Medical Center Foundation. It is an honor to be here before you. To conclude our presentation, we would like to share this following information, which includes program ideas to support education with parents, students, and the school community. These ideas were developed while conducting presentations with the Los Angeles County Office of Education, LACO, and Baldwin Park High School. We've enjoyed our collaboration to making vaping education more accessible and sustainable in the community. Parents and students have provided some recommendations that they would like to see. First and foremost, continued education to be empowered at a citywide level. And as you can see here on the slide, for this purpose, they would like for it to focus on the root causes of addiction, including mental health and resources, sharing citywide public facilities and bus shelters, schools, parks, teen center, and to improve signage and surveillance. And as you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, to use this opportunity for citywide events to support mental health. At this time, I would like to ask if there are any questions or comments for us.
Mayor,
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem?
I want to thank everybody that's presented. I was very much looking forward to this presentation. As you know, I work for the school district, and it's a big concern to me what our children are exposed to. And the presentation Anna gave about the 53 retailers she went to, and 16 of them sold cigarette products to her, and she was underage. It's alarming. And it's scary to think that that number can go up. So I'm excited to see what we can do together to help our community understand and help our retailers have more restrictions on who they're selling these cigarettes to. So again, thank you for presenting to me, and I would like to continue the conversations to work together on how we can help these retailers manage the situation. We need to have more signage. I saw the sign that you posted on there. It's all broken and not even very readable. So we need to have them posted in all of our skate parks and make sure that they're maintained free of tobacco buds, and that our students, especially our students in the high school and junior high level, understand the dangers of these products. Since you've already talked to the school district, I'm sure they would be willing for you to provide workshops to the parents as well as to our students, because they are our main target. So again, thank you. Let's continue these conversations, and you tell us, you're the experts, how as a city we can help and work with you to move this program forward so we can protect our teenagers and our children. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Is there any other council members looking to make a comment?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Again, thank you very much for this community-driven initiative, impact initiative, I should say. You know, we've been talking about this issue for quite some time. At least for myself, it's been close to maybe almost 6 months or 8 months at least, or maybe close to a year. At this time, what I like to do is, you know, unless there's any objection from our council, I like to instruct our staff to, you know, create a draft ordinance that council could then go back and, you know, have further discussions in banning, you know, tobacco flavored products in the city of Baldwin Park. This is not something new that government has done, but at least we can begin to take the first steps there. Obviously, we have to take into consideration, you know, the local businesses that have already made this investment into these type of products, but we can certainly, you know, discuss that as a council, along with others, you know, that are on this call to help us better understand, you know, what that could look like, but at least begin to have a draft ordinance that, you know, we can implement as a whole, as a council, to take really, you know, the next real step in regards to just, you know, having these fantastic presentations, but at least this provides a little bit more meat and provides, I think, what is the next step in these ongoing conversations that you have, you know, Julia, Christina, you know, Amanda, Xochitl, and everyone else has had in and around this issue. So those are my remarks, Mayor. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So if you agree, I think maybe we can start off with a report and then see what the impact is going to be. I know that there's a lot of I know that there's smaller locally owned businesses in the area, so we can see how we can mitigate their losses, or, you know, if there's any potential litigation against the city in this, and we can have a deep discussion about it. I think it's great. You know, as I mentioned earlier when we were talking about Kaiser, you know, there's a lot of you know, there's a lot of, as it is, there's already a lot of socioeconomic barriers to healthcare for communities like ours, and we know that tobacco companies often look to target ours. and it adds to it, right? We already have a lack of access to healthcare, and we have unhealthy things within reach. So I think it's a great discussion to have. I think we can direct staff to give us a report on this, and then we can enter some good discussion. If that's okay with you.
I am. The one thing I would just add is, if they can bring back what a draft ordinance of what that might look like. Not to say that we would impact that, but the report would certainly help that discussion, and we can shape, what that ordinance would look like. So again, I'm certainly not looking to penalize any of the businesses, especially the businesses that are acting in good faith. But at least that way it gives us some context in which we could use as a springboard to have that much larger conversation that obviously we all need to have, because I don't know what that would be, but I'm sure staff can certainly work through that process out with us through that report that you're talking about too.
Yeah, and that's fine. As long as we have as much information on it as possible, I think that works out. That way we have everything at once. Yes, Mayor Pro Tem?
This question is for Christina. What have you seen other cities, what steps have you seen that other cities have taken to make sure this is successful for them? Because it's something, of course, that we want to do to make sure that we have success.
Yeah, thanks, Alejandra, for that question. And I do have my Monty from the county that has worked directly with City of LA and the City of El Monte. We are definitely looking at those cities that have most recently adopted tobacco retail licenses as a model. And so I think I would just definitely defer to Monty in terms of any very kind of tangible, specific steps, but the adoption of tobacco retail licenses, banning the sale of flavored tobacco and menthol has been very consistent across Southern California, as Monty indicated. So I'll defer to Monty if there's anything else you wanted to add, Monty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christina. Yeah, so I think I worked very closely with Alhambra, I worked very closely with El Monte, and actually I worked with pretty much all the cities that have adopted flavor bans here in LA County. And I worked very closely with the Board of Supervisors on the county's flavor ban. And I'd be happy to provide technical assistance to the city of Baldwin Park as you kind of move forward with your decision making. One of the things that I think is really critical is, yes, getting a really great staff report and getting some type of framework in place to think about. But another thing that we did in LA County is we made sure to engage the tobacco retailers. So I think it's really, really, really critical that they're a part of the conversation. Obviously, it's a restriction or some type of regulation that's going to be put on them if the policy moves forward. But nonetheless, I think that it's very, very important. And so we in LA County did a number of webinars. We did multiple mailings. We did in-person meetings in every single soup district. And we really bent over backwards to make sure that the tobacco retailers had a voice in the process.
Perfect. So we can come to you, look to you for more references on how to move forward. But those are excellent ideas to give us a good start, because we want it to be very successful. Thank you.
And then I just wanted to add, just at the local level, I know previously Baldwin Park had a healthy selections program with local retailers. And the idea there was to incentivize stores for carrying healthy products. And they provided stores with a logo to delineate the healthier products. And the city gave them a certificate and provided recognition. So we did have community members express an interest in something similar to that, a type of recognition program for retailers who are committed, community partners in the health of community. And the idea being, to provide essentially a toolkit, resources, whether it be existing signage. There's so much free signage that the state has, provided and created for retailers to ensure compliance with state laws. So providing that to stores now, also to provide trainings for staff and signage, and also to see if possibly the city could, provide a certificate, and kind of in the same way as the Healthy Selections program, where the city could, recognize stores that are, participating and kind of really ensure that it's, really incentive based as well. So that's another thing that that was discussed with residents.
I recall that was very successful. Xochitl and Senora Mari were very involved in that program, and it was very successful. And the stores did take pride in being recognized for working with the community and providing healthy, nutritional foods in their stores. So that is a great idea, Christina. Thank you. And thank you, Xochitl, for always being involved with our community and doing what's best for us. Thank you.
And then we just want to thank Ramel Salas from the Baldwin Park Teen Center. Today's his last day, and he has been instrumental for us to really get our youth coalition off the ground and to really ensure that youth are kind of at the forefront. This is their issue. So I really wanted to thank Ramel for his service. He's been working in the city of Baldwin Park for 12 years, maybe more, I might be wrong. But thank you, Ramel, for all your time, your dedication, and your passion. And we will miss you. So I just wanted to thank him.
I didn't know he was leaving. Thank you, Ramel, for your service and all the years you provided to the city of Baldwin Park and to all of our students. Thank you.
Thank you. And I did just want to share, I think it's a good idea. So I'm really fond of the PSAs we've put up for like staying at home through COVID at our bus stops. And I think, that's a good idea to really use that space for PSAs. It's really, I like those because you can see them from like a mile away. You know what it says, you can read them. And I think, once we're ready to go away from promoting the stay-at-home orders, I think that there's a possibility there to work with the Breathe Free Coalition and push PSAs and remind people, it's not good to smoke, the adverse health effects that come with it, and how it affects you, and most of all to just stay away from smoking, right? Great. And so is there any other questions or comments or concerns from council or city staff? If not, thank you to Christina and her team for being here and for sharing this information with us. We greatly appreciate it. I look forward to the continued partnership and what will come out of it. I believe at this point we will move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Lea.
We will move forward to present the Lupus Awareness Month proclamation to Juana Mata, who is part of Looms for Lupus. Juana, are you here?
Yes, we are here. Estela Mata and I are here to receive the proclamation.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to read the bottom of it, and so we are proclaiming. Sorry, I can't even speak today. We're proclaiming May 2021 to be Lupus Awareness Month here in the city of Baldwin Park. And now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the city of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Alejandra Avila, council members Daniel Damian, Monica Garcia, Paul C. Hernandez, City Treasurer Maria Contreras, and City Clerk Marlene Garcia do hereby proclaim May 2021 as Lupus Awareness Month throughout the city of Baldwin Park. And so I want to thank you and your organization for spreading awareness regarding lupus. The floors are yours if you'd like to educate us or give us any comments.
First and foremost, thank you so much, Mayor Estrada and Mayor Pro Tem and council members. We are so gracious to receive and accept this on behalf of all the lupus and survivors and their family members. We are a nonprofit organization based out of Baldwin Park, and we want to let you know that we do provide support and resources to minority communities, bilingual resources, that is. We have every second Saturday of the month, we host bilingual support groups, as well as a Spanish Facebook Live support that reaches not just locally, but nationally and internationally. And we will be starting to host our first Spanish-only support group every second Sunday of the month as well. And we not only raise awareness for lupus, but we also raise awareness for fibromyalgia and other overlapping conditions, including mental health. May is Lupus, Mental Health, and Fibromyalgia Awareness Month, so we also provide support for those, and we will be having a wellness event free for the community. It will be virtually on May 15th, and we have our our Honorable Congresswoman Napolitano that will be our keynote speaker, and I would like to invite everyone to register. It is a free event that will have amazing speakers in regards to different modalities that people can use, especially right now with the pandemic, on mental health, mindfulness, meditation, etc. And it is all free, and we are providing that for the community. So again, I would like to just thank everyone for the support. Thank you, Mayor Estrada and everyone.
Great, thank you. And I think by all means, city staff and my colleagues and I are all here to support your endeavors and educating our community and helping them deal with illnesses. I think you mentioned fibromyalgia, and that's one of those illnesses that it's kind of invisible, right? You can't see it, but people are hurting and they're struggling with it. And so just, support groups are so important because they help our community members, at least kind of express what they're feeling and know that they're not alone. And, it's tough, but you're going to be able to get through it and get that support that you need. So thank you. And thank you for being here based in Baldwin Park. I love seeing our community come together and work together on these topics, especially that of health. So.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I don't know if any my colleagues or city staff have any comments.
Mayor, I
Yes.
just want to thank Estela and Juana for being here and for being part of the community and reaching out to those in need. I do know some people with fibromyalgia and lupus, and I've seen their struggles. Again, like the mayor said, you can't see it. Only they know what they're feeling and the pain that they're going through. And it's hard. It becomes really hard on their families because the family members don't understand what they're feeling and going through. So thank you for providing those services that are very, very much needed, not only to our community, but to, like you said, nationwide. So thank you again for your work.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I believe at this point, we're moving on to our next proclamation for the month, and that is the Mental Health Awareness Month proclamation. And it's going to be presented to Elisa Jimenez, Director of California Mental Health Connection.
Thank you.
Hi, Elisa. How are you doing?
Hi, Mayor Estrada. I'm doing fine. Very happy to see Dr. Esparza and all the council members, and that you all alive, well, and healthy after this year and a half out of the office. And of course, Manuel Carrillo, who has been with Dr. Esparza, really instrumental on the application of hybrid models of care.
Yes. And we're glad to have you here. Would you like to tell us about your organization and the work you're doing around Baldwin Park?
Yes, so we have over 5,000 people, and we have been doing a lot of research with most of the graduate programs regarding sexual abuse, domestic violence, and prevention of substance abuse. So the book is coming out. One of the books for violence prevention will come out next month. And this is a project that we work training therapists from different agencies to prevent violence in schools in general. So the pilot was in Baldwin Park, and there were about 200 students that participate in it. So we have a lot of groups. I'm sure you guys know throughout the years we work with victims of crime. And if anybody was hurt during this pandemic, was the teenagers and the children with disabilities. So this pandemic, we have been strongly working with the school districts, providing care for hundreds of teenagers. So the team has been, all the clinical supervisors, therapists, and case managers had to really shift in an extraordinary way from victims of crime to teens and children. And now on May 10, we're gonna do a hybrid that will to start research of how the with Baldwin Park recreational parks and mental health substance abuse will start working. And I think Manuel Carrillo and Dr. Ruiz Esparza loaned us the Walnut Recreational Park to start the project, which is fantastic. We went to a walk today and it was amazing. So Mental Health Connection is very small, but it has a big heart and a really big impact in the community. All the research that you guys see generated, it comes from Baldwin Park, actually, and it's been in all the important graduate programs. Interns from the graduate programs come and train to get licensed and learn how to work with victims of crime, except for COVID, because it started to work for teens and children. So that's kind of like in a snapshot what we do. And it is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you guys who have given the community such important resources. And for that, I'm thankful.
Great.
There's a team group.
And we're definitely thankful for your efforts, Elisa. So I just want to read this real quick. And so now, therefore, I, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Alejandra Avila, Council members Daniel Damian, Monica Garcia, Paul C. Hernandez, City Treasurer Maria Contreras, and City Clerk Marlene Garcia, do hereby proclaim May 2021 as Mental Health Awareness Month and urge all families awareness and reach out to organizations that provide accessible services for people with mental health conditions. And there it is. You pulled it up. I have a copy here, but you have the nice one. So but I can read this one, so it's okay. And I'm genuinely thankful for your efforts. Mental health is something that's very dear to me, and it's very important. And I've seen how over the years, these efforts have been able to destigmatize this, and now we have teenagers and people of all ages talking about how they're feeling and talking about what's affecting them. And we're opening up to understanding, that mental health illnesses are real and they're legitimate, most of all. And so, and it's because of efforts like yours and those around us. And it's important that we continue this effort and we keep teaching our community that it's okay to feel a certain way sometimes. And it's most of all important that it's okay to ask for help when you need it. So thank you. Thank you for breaking down those barriers and helping destigmatize mental health.
Our pleasure.
Mayor?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. I just want to thank you, Elisa, for the presentation. It's great to hear that you are working with our community, and so happy to hear you have teamed up with the Baldwin Park Unified School District. You're right. There is a lot of students having a very difficult time with this COVID situation. I talk to parents all the time, and so it is great to hear that you have partnered up with them and you're doing everything possible. And it's interesting to hear that a lot of the research comes from Baldwin Park. So that's great that you can do the research here so you can help others in other communities as well. So thank you, Elisa, and your team.
Yeah, Mayor.
Yes.
I would like to thank all of our presenters that we had today, all of our guests. Thank you for all the efforts that you do. Appreciate that. And for Elisa Jimenez, thank you, because I know how important mental health is, especially in our community.
Thank you.
And just one question for you. The teen group that you have at Walnut Creek, Elisa, is that also in Spanish or is it just in English?
It's a mixed group. We're working with hybrid. So it's very interesting because all nationalities are welcome. And we've had a very strong pool of Latino and Asian community use the services.
Great. Yeah. And I just want to encourage, parents, if anyone's listening, or teens, this teen group with California Mental Health Connection meets every Wednesday from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at the Walnut Creek, which the flyer is on here. And the contact information is also on there. If you need to get a hold of anyone, there's a contact information. But I encourage you, please, mental health has always had a stigma where it's kind of taboo. You don't talk about that. But it's something it's beneficial for all of us. It's always good to talk to someone. So please, I encourage, especially our teens who are going through some issues right now during COVID, staying at home. If you want to talk to someone, come out to this group. As I said, they meet Wednesdays at 4:30. And in Spanish, you can also también en español, si tiene alguien que quiera ser parte de este grupo para salud mental, es para jóvenes. Son de los miércoles de las 4:30 a las 6:30 p.m. So por favor, si alguien necesita ayuda, por favor, vayan a este grupo. Gracias. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Damian. And then before we move on, I forgot to mention when Christina and her team were presenting that we did receive a letter from Senator Susan Rubio supporting your endeavors. And so I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you for that. And I believe, so
One
thank you
more-
all for being, oh, sorry, Mayor
Sorry,
Present.
go ahead, finish, and then I'll go ahead. One more thing, sorry.
So, yeah, so again, I want to reiterate, Councilmember Damian, thank you all for being here. We enjoyed the presentations and being able to work with all of you on important issues like these. Go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. Again, I want to thank everybody. Ms. Julia, thank you for being here. I know we've been in contact back and forth to make sure that you were here. You guys all had wonderful presentations, and please continue to work with our community to keep us moving forward. And I just wanted, after we were talking about the vaccinations, I text Manny because I recall the numbers in Baldwin Park being a little bit better, and they actually are. We have 80% of our senior population already vaccinated. And so Baldwin Park, even though we still have a ways to go, we're at 45.6% vaccination. So we're doing pretty good because it looks, according to what Hilda Solis had said, the county is at 45.6. So we're actually doing pretty well ourselves. There's more to be done, I agree, but we're doing pretty well considering that it's only been a month since Kaiser actually partnered with us. They've really hit the ground and we've vaccinated, or they have vaccinated a lot of people. And to hear 80% of the seniors vaccinated, that's great news. Thank you, Manny, for the information. I appreciate it. That is all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And so I believe at this, oh, sorry.
Sorry, if I may, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, I also want to just point out to you guys, we do have a very detailed article about all of the great work that California Mental Health has conducted over the pandemic in 2020 and into the new year in 2021. So it'll be a part of the BP now. So if families want to check that out to see a summary of all of the services that they have provided, as well as all of our upcoming hybrid projects, which will be kick off our in-person meetings at Walnut Creek Nature Park. And we really wanted to create this this kind of oasis in a natural setting because we are currently still somewhat restricted into indoor spaces. So we really wanted to ensure that these services are not, that we close the gap on these services, and wanted just to invite you and remind everyone that we will start 2 different play groups, one for adults and one for children. So Parks RX will be a model that we will implement around overall health and wellness. So we will, while Elisa will be coordinating the mental health therapy sessions, our Parks and Recreation staff will also be on site to provide play groups and play dates at the Nature Center, as well as some a walk in the park. We are literally calling it to encourage walkability and just kind of safe social distance activities for adults and teens. So you can find more information about those programs, and they will begin next week starting May 10th at Walnut Creek Nature Park.
Great. Thank you for that information, Eureka. And it's nice to see you. We don't see you too often here in our city council meetings, but so.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Yes. And then if nobody knows, right, like Eureka's always working like in the shadows, but she's always on it. So we're all thankful for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. Congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you all.
And then I don't know if there's any more questions, comments, concerns from city council or staff. No? Okay, so I believe at this point, we can move forward to public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody looking to speak?
Mayor?
Yes. Councilmember Damon.
Before we go to public communication, I believe Estela wanted to say something.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. I did have one more thing that I wanted to say since we are in the topic of mental health awareness. There is an initiative right now that I don't know if you guys have heard about May 20th, 2021. There's a huge initiative. It's a global first mental health action day on May 20th. And our organization here from Baldwin Park, Looms for Lupus, is going to be participating. And this is the first time it's happened. There's over 500 organizations nationally that are going to be taking part of this. So I do want to see if maybe we can meet and see how we can actually bring the light here in our community. So I can reach out to you guys to give you guys more information about that, but we are part of that initiative.
Yeah, great. And that's a great idea. So I think you can reach out, or Manny can reach out to you, and then, is that correct, Manny?
Perfect.
Great. Nodding his head, yes, he's on mute. But yes,
Okay.
so that's a great idea. I think you'll hear from Manny, or you can contact Manny. And then, of course, if you want to CC council, you are more than welcome to do so we can stay in the loop.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. And sorry about that, City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 8 speakers. They are, first one is Abel, second is John Rios, third is Greg Tuttle, followed by Grace Sierra, Lilia Marley Columia, Alfredo Garcia, Justo Vicente, and Catherine Lozer. I now defer to the Deputy City Clerk.
Thank you, City Clerk. Thank you, Mayor. Let me place the call to Abel.
Bueno.
Hola, Abel.
Bueno. Aló.
Bueno, habla Emanuel Estrada. Quería hacer un comentario durante la Junta del Concilio.
Oh, Estrada, ¿tú eres?
Sí, tienes 3 minutos, ¿ok?
Ok.
Ya puede empezar.
Ok. Lo que voy a hacer este es mi comentario de que yo cuando anduve en la campaña prometí muchas cosas y no hay cosas que no se han hecho. La gente me está empujando mucho y pues yo ando mucho en la ciudad 1 hora, 2 horas diarias y veo que pues, se necesita hacer muchas cosas que no se están cumpliendo. Entonces quiero cumplir a la gente, que ustedes le cumplan a la gente lo que prometimos. ¿Quiere que pare para que traduzcan o qué?
No, siga, por favor.
Ok. Y también necesitamos que relocalicen los homeless, porque hay muchos homeless, mucho graffiti. Y pues eso me molesta mucho a mí, porque necesitamos que esa ciudad se supere un poco más, porque si no vamos a quedar mal con la gente, con los ciudadanos. Y que todos los concejales sean responsables de lo que están haciendo, para que no continuemos viéndolos cómo trabajan. Y ese es mi comentario hasta ahí. ¿Ok?
Ok, muchas gracias.
Ok, gracias.
Gracias, buenas noches. City Clerk, did you want to translate now, or did you want to translate once we're done with public communication?
You have a translator who can translate?
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
This is the interpreter. I want to let you know that if someone would like interpretation, you'll have to let me know before they start. But I can summarize if you'd like for the record.
Yes, please.
My comment is first and foremost about really holding everyone to account for completing what been promised to the community. And I also want to make a comment about the amount of homelessness that you see in the community. You really need to do something about the people who are around and homeless. Sorry, I didn't take notes on it, but if you let me know, I'm able to interpret right consecutively. So just give me a heads up.
And by all means, you can definitely, if I forget, you can definitely interrupt us at the beginning of the meeting, and I will announce it, and then I'll keep it in mind that you're here.
Great, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
City Clerk, who is next?
Mr. John Rios.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Rios. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
We're doing good. We're ready for you. You have 3 minutes, okay?
Okay. You're not going to give me the 3 minutes from last time?
No,
¿No
no.
van a dar los 3 minutos de la última vez?
We're not gonna start the clock until
No, no vamos a empezar hasta que empiece. Oh, I'm so
we're not gonna start the clock until you start talking, okay?
Okay, now I'm going to start talking.
All right, go ahead.
One of the things that I got to bring up is how come we still have that lawyer that we have right now that 3 of the city councils voted not to replace him at this point? Don't they know how to read all the bad stuff he's done? He's been with the city for so many years, and of all the lawsuits, he's always lost all the lawsuits. Okay, we still have 22 lawsuits. You're gonna lose that one too. But one of the things that really concerned, we got rid of 3 bad apples at the city council, starting with the ex-mayor, Pacheco, and Jenny. Now we have 3 more that are getting paid off because they're getting money from the lawyers and everything. It's ridiculous what came out on the news right now. Who's running the city council? The lawyer or you? That's one of the bad things, We still, doing more investigation. They're going to resign like Pacheco did. This is getting ridiculous of what they're doing. If they're not doing anything for the community, they're really not doing anything for us. Okay? That's the latest word out there. Other than that, we have Mother's Day coming up this weekend. We need code enforcement to be out there taking care of things. So we'll have every vendor around the city trying to sell flowers or sell whatever. So if you could, arrange it for the code enforcers to work on the weekend, it'll be beautiful. We got to protect the small business that we have right here in Baldwin Park. Okay? Another thing, on bars that you guys have the seniors going over there, they put the music like if they're in El Rancho. They put it loud like, crazy. I called Manny on that. I told him about it. He was supposed to take care of it. I haven't heard anything else from Barnes area. But, and then put in the stickers that you can park. You have to leave 72 hours before they put any signs. Okay? So that's about it for right now, But the community's upset right now. It's very upset. You guys into office, but you guys really haven't done anything.
Right, thank you. Thank you for that.
Walnut Creek.
Yes.
I don't know if you received them or you didn't.
Thank you, Mr. Rios. Your time is up. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Who is next, City Clerk?
The next caller is Greg Tuttle.
Hi, Mr. Tuttle.
Yes.
Hey, it's Mayor Estrada. I'm calling you from the city of Baldwin Park. I believe you wanted to make a comment. You have 3 minutes, okay?
Okay. All right. The city council needs to terminate Robert Tafoya for his corruption and mishandling of the lawsuits for the city. We will continue to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars because of his incompetence. We have 3 bought and paid for council members who were given money from Tafoya Law Firm for their election campaigns. We have Avila, who took over $4,400, which she reported on her 460 form. Then we have Hernandez, who took $6,000 from Tafoya, and Hernandez also took $3,500 from corrupt Pacheco PAC committee the FBI shut down. We all know Pacheco's going to prison. Then we have the biggest political prostitute, Monica Garcia, who received $8,800 from Tafoya and thousands of dollars from Tafoya buddy law firms who do work for the city. Tafoya even campaigned for and raised money for Monica, selling bronze, silver, and gold memberships for Garcia last election. Tafoya is being investigated by the FBI in connection to Pacheco kickbacks because Pacheco turned him in. He's been sanctioned $36,000 for a fraud that he committed on an insurance disability lawsuit. He's being sued in the Rialto Water Board for allowing illegal contracts without director's authorization. He has cost the city millions in illegal contracts he drew up for the city and weed growers. He is known to be the money bag man to shake down the weed growers for cash for council members. This is a dirty attorney which needs to be fixed immediately. If not, we will start posting a website just like I did Pacheco. And there'll be banners, just like we posted for Pacheco. The three dirty council members better shape up and start to get rid of Tafoya. Two of the council members are up for election next year, so we know why they want to keep Tafoya on to fundraise for him. Why don't you have as much, why don't you ask Tafoya how much his high dollar attorney is costing for the Pacheco sign that's up over there on the building? He's received way over his contract that the city approved years ago. And ask how much Lee Trujillo has milked the city for a simple public request lawsuit. It's in the thousands of dollars. Tafoya gets kickbacks from all these firms. Why do you think he reduced his fees down? Because he gets it on the other end. This has to stop now. I couldn't figure out why Avila especially wouldn't vote to get rid of him. But now that I know that he pays her, then why should she get rid of him? She needs money. This is a conflict of interest. We've also shipped all the information that we collected over to the DA's office Integrity Division, which has a new leader now, and he's very interested in the case. This has got to stop now, the corruption.
Mr. Teller, your time is up.
It's cost the city all this money. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Gracie Sierra.
What was that? Sorry.
The next speaker is Gracie Sierra.
Is it Grace?
Grace. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Grace.
I just don't want to butcher the name when I call him. Sorry.
Sorry, Mayor.
Great. Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, is this Grace?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello?
Hi, this is Mayor Estrada from the city of Baldwin Park. I believe you wanted to make a comment during public communications.
Yes, I do.
Great. So you have 3 minutes, okay?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mayor Estrada and our council members of Baldwin Park. Yes. Hello. Yes, I think, hello?
Yes. Oh, did you want to call her back, city clerk?
Hello?
Hi, Grace.
Hi.
Hi, you seem to have cut off. You can start. You can go ahead.
Okay, well, let me start over. Thank you. And good evening, Mayor Estrada and council city members of Baldwin Park. I have been part of many causes since 2005 with my children, helping the community of Baldwin Park. I would like to speak of a new fashion trend that adolescents are involved with called vape. Many of them don't like to think that they are doing anything wrong, only vaping. They're not using tobacco. The truth is they're risking their lungs without realizing the consequences. First of all the devices have easy access. There's no restrictions in schools, parks, at home, etc. Most parents don't even know of the vape, the variety of the products, the dangers, the addictions, and that they're easy to hide. I want to tell you The vape industry invested a lot of money in promoting sale tactics and glamorizing the product. They wanted to be appealing to the consumers. The industry made various types of vape products, different forms, colors, flavors, and nicotine contents like marijuana and other harmful chemicals. Many adolescents have vaped once, and many of them vaped once and liked the taste overall. They were exposed and addicted without realizing the risk and the long-term effect. We need to make changes now. This isn't a game. While the industry makes money on our children's back and our money, I'm worried it's out of control. Who's responsible if anyone dies? There's no restrictions, licenses, fines, or city policies. We need resources, more updated information on the dangers, prevention for the adolescents and parents, especially the school district involvement. My children grew up here and went to school. They didn't have these types of temptations, thank God. But I do have grandkids living in Baldwin Park. And for the future of all kids, I would like them to have a better quality of life. And on behalf of Breathe Free Baldwin Park Coalition, I would like to thank you so much for your time and have a good night.
Great. Thank you for calling in, Grace.
Okay, no problem. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Thank you. City Clerk, who is next?
Next caller is Lilia Marley Gulumia.
Okay. You said Lilia, correct?
Lilia, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
Hi, is this Lilia?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who is this?
This is Mayor Estrada from the City of Baldwin Park. I believe you wanted to make a public comment?
Yes, yes.
Great. So you have 3 minutes, okay?
Okay, sure.
And you can start.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Lilia Gulumian. I'm the owner of LB Cake Stop in Baldwin Park. And it was brought up to my attention recently that there's supposed to be a construction going on behind VMR and the pawn shop where the parking lot is. They're proposing to build a apartment units for seniors. I've already sent several emails to numerous people, but I don't know if my word got across to anybody. It is, we already know that we have a lot of problems in the city for parking spaces, and it's actually affecting small businesses like mine and many others that I have befriended, lately, and I know them that they have the same issues. There's a lot of apartments already as is that doesn't have or doesn't provide enough parking space to its own residents, and everybody is parking in my parking lot, which is also very limited considering that it's being shared between 3 tenants. We have about 10 to 15 parking slots, 3 tenants, a dentist next door to me that has a lot of clients, especially during the day up until 6, 7 o'clock, and we don't have enough parking spaces. Now, they're eliminating that entire space that at least has given some parking space to the customers to build an apartment unit or a condominium without any underground parking or any other parking spaces to replace that. I've sent an email and I wanted to bring it to your attention again to reconsider this project. I don't mind, honestly, for the beautification of the city, newer buildings or newer businesses to come in, but the parking spaces cannot be taken away without replacing it somehow. And with, right now with COVID, for the past 1 year, it has been extremely hard considering a lot of our business nowadays is based on
delivering platforms like Uber Eats and Postmates, and the drivers constantly come and there's no parking space. The two little parking spots we have in front of our bakery is being utilized by the residents of the city as well, and it's not even being enforced. So people park here for hours without getting tickets or moving their car, and it doesn't, prevents us small businesses to have the delivery companies to pick up the product. That's it. Just wanted to bring it to your attention, and hopefully you guys will reconsider, to at least build or give us some type of a parking space for customers and residents. If residents have their own parking spaces, at least we can use the limited space we have for ourselves. But ours is also being shared between all the residents in the area.
I'm sorry, Lily, your time is up. Thank you so much. The next caller is Alfredo Garcia.
Okay, go ahead, City Clerk.
Hello?
Hi, is this Alfredo Garcia?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Mayor Estrada. I am calling you from the City Council meeting. I believe you wanted to make a comment.
Yes.
Great. So you have 3 minutes, okay?
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the young ladies who spoke of lupus. Something special to me, and I think it's something very important. So special thanks to them. Something else I'd like to touch on is this easy Baldwin Park distribution. Many people know who Easy is. No one knows who Baldwin Park distribution is, and that's the problem. I believe that there needs to be more outreach to the community. I don't live too far from there. I've spoken to a few people, and no one knows nothing about this. And I think it'll be a shame if at least we didn't contact the residents and let them know what type of business this is. I'm not for it or against it. I just like for the public to have some input on this. It might not even be an issue in 10 years. Who knows? But I think it's very important. And I don't think they should take any special exceptions to anyone or one company regarding distance between buildings or anything like that. I think as long as you start doing that, you're going to have other companies lining up expecting favors. And the way that this cannabis marijuana thing's been handled by the prior city leaders, there needs to be more transparency. Let's see. One other thing was my concern is some of the words that were being used, like one council member said that actually apologizing to the guy for having to present this to us, his city to get this license. I don't think that's anything bad, because what other company has? Four security guards with big guns, 24 hours a day, millions of dollars in inventory. I think this is something big, and I think categorizing the neighborhood as half residential, half industrial is not good. That's one thing I'd like to touch on. One other thing I would like to speak of is we had spoke a little about the city attorney, and some of the reasons given were overwhelmed city departments, overwhelmed staff. Get us out of here. If these people don't have the support they need, what good are they? That's gonna cause problems. There's a domino effect later. So that was sad to hear that they're overwhelmed, they're overextended. That's not cool. Give the staff the help they need to be able to work 5-6 projects at once. One other thing I'd like to talk about is the city servers. I don't know, I keep hearing something about the city service went down. Was there any residents private information?
Mr. Garcia?
Was there a security breach, anything like that?
Great, thank you. So your time is up, okay?
The next caller is Justo Vicente. Justo Vicente.
Please leave your message for.
Do you want to try one more time, Chief Deputy City Clerk?
Hello, Governor.
Hi, hello.
Hello, who is this?
Hi, this is Mayor Estrada from the city of Baldwin Park. Is this Justo Vicente?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe you wanted to make a comment during public communication. You have 3 minutes, okay?
Huh?
You have 3 minutes to make your comment?
Right now?
Yes.
Okay, shoot, hold on, I didn't have this written down yet.
Hi, I'm sorry, your time starts now if you would like to speak.
Could I speak at the next one?
Sure. We will call you at the next one. Thank you so much. Next caller is Catherine Lozier.
Hello.
Hi, is this Catherine Lozier?
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello. This is Mayor Estrada from the city of Baldwin Park. I believe you wanted to make a comment. You have 3 minutes, okay?
Thank you so much. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, community partners, and fellow committee members. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Tonight, I am delighted to share that the Baldwin Park Library is almost back. Our library will be reopening for select in-person service in the next tier of designated LA County Libraries on Tuesday, May 11th. We'll open for in-person service on Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Wednesdays through Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sidewalk service for those who would like it will still be available 1 hour before opening, which would be 12 to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and 10 to 11 a.m. on Wednesdays through Saturdays. And then it will be available by request only through the remainder of the library's open hours each day. Our in-person service will include browsing the collection and checking out items, use of public computers for up to an hour, printing and photocopies, hold pickup, as well as brief interactions to assist, brief reference interactions to assist with finding information or material, and our Wi-Fi. For more information on reopening, including our COVID-19 safety protocols, you can visit our website at lacountylibrary.org/reopening or call us at 626-962-6947. And tonight I also wanted to introduce a new page on the LA County Library website called What to Know About a COVID-19 Vaccination. On that page, you'll be able to find links to government resources on COVID-19 vaccinations, how vaccinations are tested and approved, vaccination safety, and how vaccinations work. We also have booklets titles available in our collection about COVID-19 and the impact of the pandemic. And then we also have links to where you can send an email directly to our consumer health information program or to reference librarians through our general reference line if you have any further or very specific questions. So again, for any information, including our reopening, you can visit us at lacountylibrary.org, or you're always most welcome to call us at the Baldwin Park Library at 626-962-6947. Have a wonderful evening, and I look very much forward to seeing you in person for service starting on Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Chief Deputy City Clerk, is there any more callers?
No, Mayor.
Great, thank you for that. So I took some notes, and then I guess just in general, I do want to kind of remind everybody that, you know, government processes are not as fast as we would like them to be sometimes. And council has worked diligently, and we've started some very good discussions. And at the end of the day, it just takes time. It takes a vote, it takes a second reading, it takes ordinances, it takes a process, it takes plans, and I believe that we've done our best to be transparent through every single one of those processes. I know Abel asked about the homeless, and I think that's one of the issues that we've been most ambitious on. And I think something super important, and it's very important for everybody to understand, is that the homeless have rights. You know, at the end of the day, the homeless have the homeless are right. I can't even speak anymore. The homeless are human, and they have rights. And some of those rights are constitutional rights. And you know, we've had a great conversation with our chief of police and Officer Weiner, who is one of those officers out there working diligently and keeping communication going between the police department and the homeless. And something to keep in mind is that, you know, there's a Supreme Court ruling that says that we cannot just simply ask the homeless to just get up and go if we have nowhere to offer them. And a couple of months ago, with city staff and in partnership with the San Gabriel Valley Regional Housing Trust, we signed that application to be part of their pilot program. We're bringing in tiny homes that we're working with to make sure that we house the homeless in our community and be able to provide them with those services. But again, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because you don't see something happen from one day to the next doesn't mean it's not happening. These changes are coming, services are coming, and so are programs, but it just takes time. And that's just the way government works. And sometimes it's beneficial and sometimes it's not. So at this point, I'll defer to any of my colleagues if they have any comments or concerns regarding the comments that we've heard today from the community. If not, at this moment, I will move to close public communication. And then we can move on to consent calendar. Is there any items council members are looking to pull?
Yeah, Mayor, I want to pull item number 7.
Okay. Is there any other items that we are looking to pull?
That's the same item I was looking to, but I'll let Mr. Damian take the floor.
Great. So at this moment, I will make a motion to pass consent calendar items number 1 through 6, excluding item 7. Can I get a second?
Second.
Great. Any objections? No. So consent calendar items 1 through 6 pass. And Councilmember Damian, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I was reviewing the staff report on this Olsen project that's basically adjacent to the Via Mar. From my understanding, they received their first 1-year contract back in July of 2019. And then they had 2 180-day extensions of their E&A. One was done in May of 2020 by the CEO, and the second one was done by the city council back in November of last year. Now, I don't know who handles this. Is this Shannon? Is this Ben?
That would be Ben or myself, or I don't know if Ron is on. Oh no, Ben or myself. Yeah.
And I've got a few concerns with this particular project ever since it was introduced to myself. And the reason for that is because according to the downtown specific plan that the prior council had put in place, and I know that we haven't reviewed the update of that yet. And from what I gathered from Ben when I spoke to him regarding the Valley County Water building, it appeared that the motivation behind the downtown specific plan is to eliminate traffic, make it more of a walkable downtown, and eliminate vehicles. To me, if you want to make a downtown more walkable, you need to have attractions that are going to want to make people want to walk in downtown, other than just going to Superior Shopping, the grocery store. My second thing is, if we are thinking of eliminating traffic and vehicles from that area, putting in housing in downtown, it's not going to help. You know, we have one projected ENA across the street from City Hall, and we have this one behind the Via Mod. To be honest with you, I myself cannot support this project. I think that we need to start looking into areas where we can start building that are not focused in downtown. Because again, if we're going to bring in 24 units there, yes, they have garages, where are the guests going to park? You know, so parking is one concern. We heard the business owner, LB Cake Shop, that was there. Another thing was, yes, they reached out to some of the business owners in that area, and most of them were in favor of that. But I've spoken to a lot of people in the community, just regular residents that don't even live in the area, and I have not had anyone that's in favor of that project. Why? Because they want to see downtown to be more of a walkable area, and if we're cramming housing downtown, what are we going to bring in that it's going to want to bring people to come and walk in downtown? So that's my biggest concern with this project.
Great. Thank you, Councilmember Damian. I don't know if any other council members have any questions or concerns.
I have a question. What is the reason for the extension? And is somebody here from the Olson Company here to speak?
Yes.
Mr.
John Reekson.
Yes, I see you.
Hi.
Yes, hi. Can you explain to us why the extension, please?
Yes, we are finalizing a purchase and sale agreement for the acquisition and development of the site. Been working very closely with the staff to do that and to conduct the neighborhood outreach as directed by the council back in November. And we've done that. We've reported out on that this evening, and are very close to presenting a parking plan, which will replace the parking that would be removed as a result of the community being built. And we're at that, we have a draft purchase agreement that we've concluded negotiations on. We're ready to bring that to you in the next 45 to 60 days. And very excited about moving forward with the community. It will introduce substantial new investment in the area, provide new customers for those businesses, and be a real shot in the arm for that area. And we appreciate staff and the process that we've been through. Obviously, COVID set us back a little bit and caused a delay, but we've made a full application submittal to staff and are reviewing those first round of comments. So we're well down the path of that process, and wrapping up these agreement negotiations. And obviously tonight wanted to present what we had done to follow up based on the council's direction back in the fall. So we're very excited about the opportunity. We think it's going to be a fantastic asset. And there's also an opportunity to provide affordable housing here, as I know a couple of the council members have asked about. So that's the reason for the delay, is just to put the finishing touches on the agreement. We just need a short period of time. If the council's not comfortable with a 6-month extension, I think we can have that purchase and sale agreement taken care of well before that, if there's a lack of comfort there. But we are available to answer any questions.
Thank you for that. So I know you said you had been doing outreach, but the owner of KB Cakes, if you were listening, she just called in and she said that she had not heard of the outreach. So my concern is, how much more outreach needs to be done if she's right behind the project and was not aware of it.
Yeah, we did speak with her, and at that time, I believe she has parking that's directly adjacent to her business, and felt that if we could provide, I think she wanted double the amount of guest parking that would normally be required, and the replacement of parking, which we will have a plan to show very shortly and working with staff. But she was generally supportive when we spoke with her. She's expressed some concerns tonight, and my first comment as I talked to Doris here at the office was, let's be sure that we reach back out to her right away and continue those conversations. But we've met individually with every property owner over the last couple of months. We're meeting more intensively with VMR to ensure that the parking plan that is implemented once we present it to you will be satisfactory. And we'll be doing that over the next several weeks.
Mm-hmm. So I know, Mr. Damian, I don't know if you have anything else to say before I continue.
No, go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Okay, so again, my concern is the outreach, and I know COVID has not allowed the outreach that we would like because of the situation. So because there hasn't been enough outreach, I'm not that comfortable extending the ENA. I used to have all this month until, what is the date on Shannon? June what? For the extension that they got?
I believe it is, no, it's May. I believe this is the last meeting to extend it. Is that correct, Ben?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we've had 2 extensions prior from the start of the whole project, and I don't feel enough residents have been notified or reached out to, especially the stores that are right there. I know you're working with VMR, but they're not the only ones that are being affected. They're being affected. We have all those condos right there on the side of the park as well. They're being affected, and if we haven't done enough outreach, is very, very concerning to me to extend this when throughout this time that outreach has not been out there. So I'm a little uncomfortable extending this ENA right now.
Well, we did also had a community meeting back in September where we noticed all of the residents. Only 3 participated on that Zoom call. But as I said, we have met with every one of those property owners over the past couple of months. The vast majority have been supportive. There are concerns about parking, and we are working to alleviate those concerns. And I think we'll have a plan very shortly. So even if it's just a shorter extension, I feel very confident that we can be back before you within 60 days with both a parking plan that will be acceptable to all of the businesses, as well as an agreement for your consideration.
Mr. Damon, did you have anything else to add to that?
Mr. Mayor, if I may? After Councilmember Damian's ready.
No, go ahead, Councilmember Hernandez. I don't have any further.
Thank you. John, thank you very much for sharing that. Again, it's attached to our staff report that the Olson Company did reach out to everyone at the request of council. The last time we met with all of us met with them back in November. And I do recognize, the concerns, valid concerns that the local businesses have in regards to the parking item or topic. I feel comfortable moving, giving the Olson Company an extension, maybe perhaps not the full 180, but I think John mentioned that within 60 or maybe 120 days, we can do that. Because what I also recognize is that the Olson Company has invested thousands or perhaps maybe even $1 million already of their own staff time and other fees and other items that's not accounted for in the staff report. That I would hate to, have someone who's committed to providing a great product in our city, but also open to, working with the city in providing some affordability units for our residents. When I think of downtown walkability, this is exactly the type of projects that I'm looking towards, that are close to the downtown corridor, that provide easy access for the residents that live there to go outside, out in the park, and to go down the street to visit the various vendors that we have in our community. So I do, concur with my colleagues that, some of the outreach could be done, could be improved, over the next few months here, considering now that, things are lightening up in the sense of, what we can do now per the county and per the state's requirements. So I'd ask that, perhaps, we consider a shorter time frame to give them the opportunity and the staff to bring back, this parking plan that can be shared not only with us, but also share that with the local businesses. Now, I don't expect the 100% approval from all the businesses, but there is certainly, a way of, including them and having them being part of this process as we've asked for them to be back in November. So those are my comments, and my request would be to extend it for a shorter period of time. Perhaps that would suffice at this given point, instead of just completely eliminating the project at this point in time, and begin, that additional dialogue. And we, like I said, we could all ask them to do additional feedback with the community and with the residents. But I think when we talk about the residents, we have to define as to, who should they be reaching out to? And of course, how do we define success in the outreach effort? Is that 50% of the people that are in support of it, 75%? Saying that additional outreach has to be done, I agree with it 100%. But I think as a council, we have to set that standard or that threshold that, that would make us all comfortable, because with any project, regardless of what it is, or any initiative, you'll never get 100% agreements in very, very few things, especially when it comes to development items, at least in my experience. And I think staff could certainly speak to that. Any project that we've done regarding that, whether it's our street repairs, our downtown improvement items, I think we're doing it for the benefit of the community. Obviously, we take in everyone's input, and there's certainly ways to improve the process for everyone to be inclusive. And I think that certainly shows a little bit more transparency on all our parts. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you for that. And so just to be clear, I wasn't here in November, and neither was Councilmember Damien. And I think that was one of the issues, right? That your ENA got extended by a council that was taking off in 2 weeks, not considering that a new council was coming in and that new ideas and that new perspectives wanted to be put in place. And I think that it's unfortunate that council decided to do that. With all due respect to them. Me personally, I have a problem kind of supporting this at this point. I don't want to support an ENA on a project. At this point, I'd like to be able to have free and uncompromised discussions with staff and ask questions more freely and be part of this process. We've talked about housing. We're at Mental Health Awareness Month. We know that economic stress is one of the main factors that hurt people's health overall. We have one of the highest eviction rates in the county. The pandemic really put a spotlight on eviction and people's inability to afford a home. And so when I sit here and I know that, the average family here makes $65,000 a year, how do I sit here and support a $500,000 condo or a $600,000 condo, $700,000 condo? I am in no way helping my community. We talk about how our neighborhoods and our more residential areas being congested and packed, but this isn't going to better that. This is going to make it worse, because those houses that we build are not going to go to those people because they can't afford it. They can barely afford to rent a garage. They can barely afford to rent an ADU, and those are my points, and as I said, I want to be able to have a fair discussion. I look at the downtown area and I want to see a downtown that really thrives, a downtown that people enjoy, and people have been hungry for change. They've been hungry for development, and I don't think that, I've spoken to a lot of residents. They have a lot of concerns. They want real change. They want to enjoy this downtown. And if I sit here and instead of trying to make this downtown enjoyable for my community and welcome in people with higher incomes, I've started something that's not good, and it leads to displacement and gentrification. And those are my concerns. As I said before, the last time I think council ever tried to develop was, with Bisno in 2008. That died out, and we never heard about development in the downtown again. So I really want to have full-on discussions with staff, ask the questions that I've been wanting to ask, and really have input in that property. So at this point, I would, Councilmember Damon, if you want to make a motion, but at this point, I personally am not ready to support an extension.
Mr. Mayor, may I make a quick request?
Yes.
As Councilmember Hernandez stated, well, first of all, there's always risk in moving forward with the negotiation. The Olson Company, I'm a former city person myself for 17 years before I entered into the development industry with the Olson Company. The Olson Company partners and has partnered with cities and back then redevelopment agencies to do a lot of affordable housing over our 30-year history. And I understand that policy direction changes. New council members come in, things do change over time. But Olson's always been a solution provider in those instances. And given that we've spent almost $500,000 so far, and again, we're a developer, and I know, but that's our risk. I would respectfully request perhaps that the council consider giving us a 90-day period to work with you and the community and the staff to look at how we can introduce more affordable housing into this development and follow your policy objectives, understanding that things have changed over the past several months. But Olson can be flexible through that process, and we would like to be. And I think we've proven that over many decades. And I would respectfully request that the council, given the dedication and the volume of work and cost in trying to come up with the best possible community for the city of Baldwin Park, that you give us that opportunity. And if we can't do it and we can't meet those objectives, we can't. But rather than face this somewhat suddenly, perhaps have some time to work through that with the city staff and with the council and with the community, as we have done as a company many times in the past. Thank you.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, Councilmember Damian.
Yeah, and Mr. Rixton, I appreciate your comments and I take them into consideration. I understand losing money is never easy. I get that. However, you've had a full 1 year pre-pandemic, then you had two 180-day extensions. When I met with you and Doris back in, I don't know if it was December or January of this year, one of my biggest concerns, and I had made it very clear to both of you, number one, there was a lot of noise complaints at Via Mad during karaoke nights in the patio from people who live in the park shadow area, which is on the other side. And one of my concerns was I've been there when the police department was called to come and lower the music. So if these people from Park Shadows are complaining about that, could you imagine what these people are going to hear next door? Your response to me was, these are going to be geared towards people who like the night living, right? That was your response to me. Number two, we never discussed anything about affordable housing. Everything was market rate, anywhere from $500,000 to $600,000. That is not affordable for our community or the majority of our community. Number three, I cannot speak for anybody else, but I wasn't present when you guys were granted this ENA back in 2019. And I wasn't present when you got the first extension. And then I wasn't present when you got the second extension right before the next council was out. So I believe that I also made it very clear to both of you that it would be wise to reach out to a bigger demographic in the community, residents who live here, because at the end of the day, even if they don't live in that area, they pay property taxes here and they pay to live in the city of Baldwin Park, and they want to enjoy downtown, whether they're coming from the east side, west side, north side, south side, it doesn't matter. They want to enjoy our downtown. We don't have to live in the area to want to say, hey, I want to come to downtown Baldwin Park and I want to spend my hard-earned money here so that we can shop local and leave our sales tax dollars here. And these were concerns that I brought up to you and Doris early on. Here we are in May, probably about 4 to 5 months ago. And you never made an attempt to reach back to me. You guys never reached back to me to see if there was going to be any of those residential input meetings that I told you that I wanted to be present with. So at the end of the day, to me, the way I look at it now is now you're coming to us to try to give you an extension for 180 days, 90 days, whatever it is, but yet you didn't take the time to take into consideration what we had spoken about and to earn my support back in January. So for me at this point in time, Mayor, if I can make the motion, I make the motion not to expand the ENA.
Second.
Mayor, I just want to clarify something. At the time that that extension was given, I did not agree on the extension. I had the exact same concerns Mr. Damien had, the noise, where it actually stands in the traffic that it was going to create and the outreach. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Great. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any objections?
Yes, Mayor.
Great. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Council Member Damien?
Yes.
Mayor, I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Avila?
Yes.
Mayor Estrada?
Yes.
And Council Member Hernandez?
No.
Great. So motion passes. At this point, we will move on to City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff requests, and communications. So there's nothing there, but I did have and these are some really, really good news. So I've been discussing with Manny and Shannon the possibility of increasing our usage of our Parks and Recs programs and potentially reducing or waiving fees for our Baldwin Park residents. And today I saw that what is it, Manny? Is it the day camp for the children?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the day camp.
Great. So, and I believe this is a great start to a very, very great conversation. And I think May, the month of mental health wellness, is the perfect month to start this conversation and this discussion. So I would like support to direct our staff to bring back a report regarding the possibility of starting off with the day camp and waiving those costs for our residents. And if any council members have any questions or concerns.
Mayor,
Yes.
I think that's a great idea. There's a lot of parents always inquiring. They inquire at the school district, do you know where we can take our kids for summer? And Parks and Recreation offers an excellent program from all ages. And then at the end of the program, they put on a great show for all the parents and families to come in and watch. The parents can leave their students there. They go on field trips. Some of them, it's hard for them to pay the fees, but nevertheless, they need to go to work. So they figure it out one way or another. So waiving the fees for that program would be a great idea. It would give the parents a peace of mind. They have to go to work. Everything's opening up now. And now if they don't even have to pay for the program, that would be even better. So I support that.
Yeah, and I think it'll be beneficial. I know even sometimes I wasn't aware of all the programs and services that we have at our Parks and Recs, and I've been really trying to be a little bit more diligent and learning all the possibilities that we have to offer to our constituents. And and I think it's important right now, right? A lot of children have been stuck at home for over a year now, and they are yearning to run around and communicate, and we're getting there little by little, but we're getting there. And so I think it is important. We've talked about the socioeconomic barriers. We've talked about our working class community and everything they've given up during the pandemic, and how much we respect them. And I think that this is one of the biggest thank yous that we can do for our community, is helping them with childcare and also helping our children develop. So Manny and Shannon, if there's no objections from any city council, I think it's a clear yes to start on those reports and really start this amazing project. So.
Will do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And is there any other comments, questions, concerns from city council members?
I just want to wish everybody a happy Cinco de Mayo. Although we're here working, it's okay.
Hey.
Hope you all enjoyed your day today. And I want to thank everybody that presented today again. Elisa, we're going to be in touch because it's much needed. As you know, I work for the school district, so we have to be in touch. Thank you, everybody, for all the work you have put in. Appreciate everything you do. Everybody have a great night.
Mayor.
Yes, City Clerk. We don't hear from you often either, huh? So
I know, Ms.
I
Martin.
know, I stay quiet. I just want to wish all the mothers a very, very happy Mother's Day to all the moms in Baldwin Park. We work hard. We raise our children to be productive citizens in our community. So we like to be recognized once a year. So happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you, Marlene, and our kids know each other. So
Yeah.
happy Mother's Day. Have a wonderful.
Likewise, Mija. Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, we're gonna have to start doing roll call for City Clerk as well, right? So we can hear her a little bit.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Hernandez.
I think we still have one more item that we have. Is that
You
correct?
you are correct. You are right. We have the. I don't have the agenda on me. Let me. I have it on the screen.
Relief Foundation.
Yes, yes. So at this moment, you guys were trying to bust a was it Christmas when we did that?
Yeah.
So at this moment, I'd like to open up.
I don't know the we part, but it's.
Yeah. So the Baldwin Park Charitable Relief Foundation. I am calling to order the Baldwin Park Charitable Relief Foundation virtual meeting. And I believe there is new business, and that is the Baldwin Park Charitable Relief Foundation annual financial report for the fiscal year ended in June 30, 2020, and it is recommended that the Board of Directors receive and file BPCRF's annual financial report for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2020. So I will make a motion to receive and file. Second, can I get a, is there any objections? None, motion passes. I now move to adjourn the Baldwin Park Charitable Relief Foundation. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections? No, and that meeting is adjourned. And so at this point, if there's no other comments, no other questions, I guess we are ready to adjourn the regular meeting. So
1 second, if I may, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor.
I'm anticipating. I feel like somebody wants to talk. Whoever it is.
Yes. Again, just we certainly want to thank all our mothers in the community, those that have raised the children, and those that have acted as foster parents in our community. Also, there's several of those individuals and mothers in our community. So certainly want to thank them, and of course, thank my mother for dealing with me as a young little child and an adult. But again, a special warm welcome to all the mothers that celebrates not only this Sunday, but also on Monday, because I'm reminded they get 2 gifts. So it sounds like Mayor Pro Tem is also on that same bandwagon. So, Feliz Dia de las Madres. To the Mayor Pro Tem, Treasurer Garcia, and the rest of our staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
And a quick hello to Chief Lopez and all the police department. Chief Lopez is always very quiet. Thank you for being out there protecting us. Continue the good work.
Yeah. Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead, Councilmember.
Yeah, if I don't wish a happy Mother's Day, I'm going to look bad. So I just want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. Even if you're a father, if you're a single father, happy Mother's Day to you as well. To all of, City Clerk and everybody who's a mother, happy Mother's Day. All of our residents. Also in Spanish, Feliz Dia de las Madres para todas nuestras madres hermosas allá que andan afuera en Baldwin Park. Tengan un buen día festivo.
Yes.
And one last item. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I swear. I certainly want to make sure that we recognize all the teachers this week, because it is Teacher Appreciation Week, and yesterday was National Teacher Day. So again, we want to make sure that we thank all of them for all their countless hours of support, especially during this last year, as they've done a miracle job in educating all our young future leaders, attorneys, judges, and presidents of the United States. So again, thank them for all their unwavering dedication to education and to the youth, not only in Baldwin Park, but across the country. Thank you.
One more thing, Mayor, sorry. Can I ask Manny Carrillo to put Happy Teacher Appreciation Day on the billboards, as well as Happy Mother's Day for all Baldwin Park residents to see on all the marquees that we have here in the city, please?
Absolutely, Mayor.
Thank you.
It's Nurses Week too, you guys. So you all know I have a nurse. I have an RN.
That's right.
Yeah, so this week is there. Thank you.
She said no pressure, guys.
Oh, thank you for being a hero.
Yeah, you know what? They really need to be recognized this last year, especially. I can't tell you guys how many times I had to answer that phone call from her where she was crying in her car. Just, very concerned with the pandemic and how could she work through this? And, just told you just got to work through it. You're a nurse. You grew up in Baldwin Park. You were raised by a tough mom. You got to do it. Just do it.
Good job, Mom. Good job.
Yeah.
Yes. And nobody will miss it. I was telling Manny, if you pass by the marquees at night, those things are bright. They go all the way to like the other side of the block.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to that. Of course, happy Nurses Day, happy Teachers Day, Teachers Week, Nurses Week, happy Mother's Day to everybody. Where would we be without our moms? So very important to recognize all the moms out there. So thank you all. At this moment, I move to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Any objections? If anybody wants to keep talking? No? All right, meeting adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Goodbye.